Women that have more than two baby daddies usually have some sort of mental illness.
Really?
Yeah, because you're getting genetically modified too much. I think, okay, so this is what I know. Every time you get pregnant, right, there's stem cells that come from that baby. And them stem cells end up behind your eyes and your brain and your heart and your lungs and stuff and help your organs heal while the baby taken from you. And those stem cells will always stay with you, right? So that means that man is always in you. And that is why, the Bible says you will only desire your husband. Correct? This is why you gotta use condoms, because that baby better get up inside you, and the uterus is very porous, much like the mouth, right? So when anything goes up in there, it automatically the uterus starts to absorb it. It starts going through the vaginal walls and all that, and the blood, it gets into the bloodstream, right? And so, it takes
get in there.
So it takes like 6 weeks to get a man out of your system if you have unprotected sex, and it's because he's starting to bind to your DNA, right? And that's why it's couples, when they be together too long, they start looking alike. You start looking like him.
Wow.
Like, it's not, the guy don't start looking like her. She start looking like him, because he is genetically modifying her. And every time you get pregnant by him, you start to get modified, right? So if you get pregnant by multiple peoples, right, that's multiple spirits, multiple thoughts, multiple modifications from different DNA strands.
All you hoes, I hope you're listening.
It's causing you to have mental stress. So, it's very evident. Like, what I'm saying is very evident. It makes sense, because like, you got all these dating apps, all these women like free sex, free this, whatever, I'm doing, but I'm living, I'm exerting my sexuality and all this, and I don't care if I got 5 kids or 5 baby daddies, whatever. Usually those bitches are they're struggling in so many different ways, not just financially, but also just like on where to focus, how to whatever, because you got too many different bloodlines in your blood.
What today?
Shemaine, now that shit ain't funny, though.
Come on, man, let go, man. Come on, man, let go.
This shit ain't funny right here now.
It ain't funny. Who laughing? Who laughing, man? Who laughing? I ain't going back in no house. Let go.
And I don't damn talk like that either.
Let go, man. Come on, man. I want to be just like you today. Just like you. I want to be your twin. Ain't nothing wrong with being my man twin. Now let go. Shemaine, where the rest of my chicken at, Shemaine? Breast, wing, and thigh. What is this, Shemaine? Where my bread at? Come on, let go, man. Come on, let go.
Man, go wash that shit off your face, Shemaine.
No, you got one. You can't wash yours off, so I ain't washing mine off. We're gonna be twins today, man.
Shit natural, man. What you mean?
Well, mine ain't natural, but it made me look just like you.
This is my favorite couple on the internet. And you can literally tell the two has become one. When the Bible says the two shall be made one, it's talking about the binding of the spirit and soul. And forget about the makeup, she literally looks like her husband. And I believe you must have met someone who looks the same, okay? They're beginning to look like their husband, or the two looks alike. That is because the two has become one. This is a continuation of my last post where I talked about the defilement of gays and the agenda behind the hookup culture. Now, if you look at the divorce metric, you can see that it is mostly initiated by women. And outside other factors, one of the reasons why this is because the women who have lived, worldly lifestyle before getting married, find it hard to sustain the marriage, because even though they are married to one, they are still bonded to another. So the spirit in them, the forces, the DNA, so to say, is fighting inside them, okay? And remember, when we talked about the defiling of the gates, it gives the enemy a foothold in your life, in your marriage, in your family. So if you do not clean up your vessel or go for deliverance or clean up yourself before getting married, that lifestyle that was lived before marriage will affect your current partnership. And the design of a man is different from that of a woman. And to understand the design of God, you simply need to look at nature. Okay, this is not to support adultery. If you look at the hippopotamus or the lions, you can see that a lion can be with multiple lionesses in his pride. But you cannot see a lioness with 2 lions. It is impossible. A man can be with multiple women for the sole aim of, building up a community of people. But That was in the Old Testament when it was permitted. The woman bonds with her soul, which is her emotions, okay, because the emotions is in the soul. And every time she disconnects from her partner and gets into a new relationship, a new sexual relationship, she's not only receiving the DNA of the new person, but she's also fragmenting her soul. With every new breakup, she's fragmenting her soul. And that creates a soul wound. Think of it like trauma, but this time it is self-inflicted. And this generation has been indoctrinated through the subtle use of movies to deceive the women that having multiple partners is freedom. Meanwhile, you're fragmenting your soul, you're self-inflicting trauma. And because the soul has been fragmented multiple times, it becomes difficult to bond with any man. And it is your capacity to bond that ensures loyalty. So when you have fragmented your own soul by having multiple relationships, after living that lifestyle, getting into marriage, it becomes difficult to bond. It becomes difficult to remain loyal because, the capacity to be loyal is no longer there. The soul has been fragmented. Remember, the women bond with their soul. It is like magnets losing its capacity to, catch on to metal. And any little attention from the opposite sex results in cheating. The walls of protection or the walls of connection or the gates is not just open, but it has been broken and removed entirely. So they are not just open to anybody who wants access. They are also open to spirit. And this leads to mental illness. This leads to depression. And so ultimately, the agenda of the enemy through the hookup culture is not just to defile the gates, but to shame and to attack purity and virginity, okay, by normalizing promiscuity. That's why we are seeing 19-year-olds, 14-year-olds going into hookup, going into prostitution. All this is to raise a generation of women whose gates are defiled, to ensure that the enemy has foothold or a legal ground into families, into bloodlines, okay, to even have access of bringing demons into the world. So you have people who are not under any form of covering, okay, under the guise of feminism, being deceived